Average American versus average European. Let's see the similarities. Let's see the differences. See how American culture is different than European culture. Let's get right into it.
The United States of America was officially formed on July 4th, 1776.
It was actually July 5th. I'm just kidding.
It's when 13 states declared their independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain.
Yes, sir.
This was centuries after this region, which was part of what was then called the New World, was officially discovered by Italian explorer Christopher Columbus.
Facts.
In the centuries that followed, European settlers would arrive in droves, with many of the first expeditions arriving from Spain, but later from...
So it's super interesting. I haven't even watched the video yet, but I just know enough about history and the tone of this video already, how it's going, because it literally is already depicting that all of America was settled by people from Europe, right? America is of European descent, basically. You know what I mean? At least in the beginning it was. So to see the differences that will follow from in the very end of this video is going to be interesting because we all came from the same place in a sense. You know what I mean? Just developed separately. It's kind of cool.
France, Germany, Holland, Scotland, and England, among other European nations claiming some slice of the American pie. Today, many U.S. citizens have European ancestry.
I didn't just say that, did I?
While not necessarily sharing much in common with their long-lost kin. Thomas Jefferson may have once famously written in the Declaration of Independence that all men are created equal,
Facts.
but we thought it would be fun to see how equal, in some respects at least, the modern US citizen is now with the modern EU citizen in this episode of the Infographics Show.
Sir, also boys, by the way, Infographics Show. Gasoline.
The average American versus the average European. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. First of all, to give us some idea of how much European there is flowing through the American bloodstream, let's take a look at America's largest European ancestry groups. According to the Census Bureau, approximately 49 million Americans said they had German ancestry, 36 million Irish ancestry, 27 million English ancestry,
Okay, so
18
German's the
million
highest.
Italian ancestry, 10 million Polish ancestry, 9 million French, 6 million Scottish, 5 million Scotch-Irish, 5 million Dutch, 4 million Swedish, and 3 million Russian.
4 million Swedish. How about that?
Other large groups include Welsh, Czech, Hungarian, Portuguese, Danish, and Greek.
So basically
Many
everywhere.
people were also described as mixed ancestry.
Yeah.
With this Euro connection in mind,
I know I am.
how much does the average American have in common with the average EU citizen?
So basically everything I said earlier I shouldn't have said because he's saying it.
Meaning that half the population is younger and half the population is older, is 42.7 in the EU and 37.9 in the
Okay.
US. Life expectancy
So
in
it's
the EU is
older.
82.4 years for women and 76.6 years for men. American women on average will live to 81.94 years and American men 77.1.
Okay, so life expectancy in America for men is 77, but women have it higher over in the EU. Over in the EU. That's kind of crazy.
1. When it comes to making babies, American women are slightly more active, with the average number of births per woman being 1.84. European women giving birth.
Wait, hold up. 1.84? 1.58? Is this number trying to talk about miscarriages or what? I don't understand
To
that.
an average of 1.58 children. Just to clarify here, this doesn't mean women are miraculously bearing partial 0.58 humans, rather it's just an average taken from the female population and the number of births.
So maybe I should just stop pausing the video because he literally explains everything after I ask it.
Let's now look at some physical attributes. The average height for an American man is 5 foot 9.5 inches,
Okay.
while collective data for the entire EU is hard to come by. Europe, however, has some of the tallest people in the world, with the Dutch coming in at an average height of 6 feet for men. Dutch women are also at the top.
So I know you guys, I think I'm like 5'5", but yeah, I'm for sure 6 foot, so I should be from the Netherlands.
With an average height of nearly 5 foot 7 inches, whereas American women
7.
on average are 5 foot 4 inches tall.
5 foot
In fact,
4.
Most member countries of the EU have a greater average height than that of Americans. That cannot be said about body weight, with America regularly coming in the top 5 countries in the world for average weight. The average male in the US weighs 194.7 pounds and
Wow.
the average female 165 pounds. The UK has the heaviest people in Europe at 185 pounds for men and 152 pounds for women. This is about
That's kind of scary, boys, because average weight for men in America, 194, and average weight for female, 165. Gang, I weigh 150 pounds, below both of them. Yikes.
about the same as the land of giants, Holland, even though the average UK nationals are much shorter. Now that we've looked at mortality and the body, let's delve into money matters. Americans are generally thought to be a hardworking bunch of people,
Yes, sir.
culturally ambitious, and
Come
with a
on now.
penchant for wanting to come first.
That's facts.
This might be reflected by the fact that the USA has the most billionaires in the entire world at 565.
One of whom is Bill
whom,
Gates.
Microsoft's co-founder Bill Gates, being the richest of them all with a fortune of around $87 billion. By
$87 billion, boys. That's pocket change for the homies around nowadays. Jeff Bezos alone, $200 billion. Wow, when is this video made? 2017. That's crazy. Jeff Bezos has got that much higher since 2017.
comparison, the EU is home to 489 billionaires, with the richest being Spanish business magnate Amancio Ortega.
The EU in total, 489 billionaires. America, 565 billionaires. One country, multiple. That one's crazy.
Who is worth around $85.8 billion. But what about the average Joe among us?
Huh?
According to polls, the median gross wage for workers in the US per household was $43,585 per year, which is the 6th highest in the world. The highest median gross wage in the world per household was Luxembourg at $52,493 per year, with 2 other EU nations also above the
Italy.
US in Sweden and Denmark. In terms of income tax paid, the US is below many EU member countries. The average income tax paid in the US is 22.7% of earnings, with the highest country in the world being EU member Belgium at a whopping 42.8%.
But that's because Belgium is 42.8. I'm kind of curious about Sweden. Bert, you should tell me how much Sweden's taxes are, because 22.7 sounds pretty much correct for America. But Belgium is obviously socialist.
8%. How does this affect the quality of life? Standard of living is a difficult thing to judge, and wherever you look, lists will differ. For example, the USA's gross national income, the spending power of the individual, is only behind the EU country of Luxembourg. Standard of living is another matter. Again, lists differ, but almost always the best standard of living top 10 countries is dominated by EU countries and other European nations, with Canada, New Zealand, and Australia also in the running.
Wow.
EU countries also ranked highly on the World Happiness Report 2017, with 5 EU member states being in front of 14th placed America. Many of these countries also rank highly regarding a very expensive cost of living, which may seem confusing given they are reportedly so happy. Some factors may help explain this.
Reportedly so happy.
The world go to, you guessed it, the United States. Americans also work very hard for a highly developed country.
Facts.
It's stated that the USA is in 13th place in terms of working the most hours, and while some EU members are above the US, there are poorer EU members that rank low on standard of living and happiness indexes. Taking paid annual leave into account, the EU states by law that each worker should have at least 4 weeks of paid vacation, while there is no such law in the US and the decision is left to the employer.
Facts.
The average is around 10 days per year.
That's kind of goated, huh? 4 weeks paid vacation, no matter what. None in the US. Wow.
Year in the US, far lower than in the EU. The average paid vacation time in the US after 20 years service at one company is 20 days.
That's facts.
Many EU countries also have more or the same public holidays as Americans enjoy. The US is also a fairly expensive place to receive a university education, with a report in 2015 stating that the average student debt in America was $29,000.
You boys don't even want to know what my student debt is. You don't even want to know.
Was $29,000. Still, this was much lower than England, whose students will owe almost double that amount after
Really? UK has a higher student debt than us? That's kind of crazy.
graduation. EU countries such as France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Belgium, and the Czech Republic have very small tuition fees, while in Denmark, Sweden, and Finland, university is free. The US, however, has a lower household debt to GDP than many Euro nations, including big borrowers Denmark, the Netherlands, Britain, and Sweden. A 2017 report puts the USA in 10th place for household debt to GDP.
Wow.
So, what do these countries get for their money? Well, Americans enjoy living in much bigger houses on average than any country in the EU, with the average house size being around 2,000 square feet, second only to Australia, according to a 2015 report.
Wow.
Denmark has the biggest houses in the EU at around an average of 1,500 square feet per house, while the UK is only around 800 square feet.
So 80 meters squared? We're 186 meters squared? Is it because of just like smaller landmass, I guess? Because America is huge.
Feet on average. Americans also have more motor vehicles per person, being the third biggest vehicle owners in the world, according to a 2014 report. With 797 vehicles per 1,000 people, excluding two-wheelers, only Luxembourg comes close to the US, and most EU countries are far behind. Where else does the money go? Well, quite a lot on entertaining oneself. Whether drowning tears or living la vida loca, a lot of money earned is spent on alcohol. The Europeans are easily the world's most formidable drinkers, with Eastern Europe topping the charts of alcohol consumption per capita in the world, and almost all EU countries drinking more than the USA, except for Italy and Sweden. Eastern
Italy and Sweden, you boys don't drink as much. How about that?
Europe is also the cheapest place to drink, with Slovakia and the Czech Republic selling beers at an average of $1.50 from bar to supermarket, compared to a US average of more than double that.
For sure. US is for sure hefty in that department.
Finally, let's talk about love. In many EU countries, marriage rates have fallen dramatically, but this has to some extent become a global phenomenon. The average age of men and women in the US getting married is 29 and 27 respectively.
How? People that live around here where I live all get married at like 20, 19, 20. I'm 21. I couldn't even imagine getting married at 29. You know what I mean?
Which is considerably lower than just about all countries in the EU, whose couples often wait until well after 30. In the US in 2015, a report states that 6.8 per 1,000 people tied the knot, which was considerably higher than most European countries, with the EU average at 4.5 in 2015. The divorce rate that year in the EU was 2.0, almost half of the marriage rate. The US had a similar rate of marriage to divorce at 3.6. If not marrying, people haven't stopped sleeping with each other, but the Europeans, according to a survey by Durex, are doing it a lot more. The survey stated that the most sexually satisfied countries in the EU were Spain, Italy, Greece, the Netherlands, and Germany, with the USA data showing a low rate of satisfaction compared to most EU countries. As for first-timers, only the EU countries of Britain, Austria, Germany, and Czech Republic have a younger age in which people lose their virginity, with the USA being a fraction higher than those countries at age 18.4.
18.4, huh? Well, that was dope. That was kind of crazy, huh? Mainly the houses, I think, and the marriage rate. It was all cool to learn, though. Definitely cool. If you guys want to see more content like this, be sure to leave in the comments down below. I'll do it. Subscribe if you are new. Turn on post notice. Hit the like button if you did enjoy. Boys, I'll see you guys in the next reaction episode. I love you all. Stay positive, stay grinding, don't ever give up. Peace out.